Hare Krishna. Welcome to Morning Amrut Vani program. His Grace Rupavilas Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ram Kripa Prabhuji will be reading the Nama Amrita, followed by Srila Prabhupada's quote, followed by Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Thereafter, Her Grace Sadhu Sevini Mataji will be reading the slokas. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुदंडवत प्रणाम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada की जय।
Ram Kripa Prabhuji, kindly start.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुदंडवत प्रणाम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada की जय। His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj की जय। His Holiness भक्ति आश्रय वैष्णव स्वामी महाराज की जय। His Grace शिक्षा गुरु रूप विलास प्रभु की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। Sri Namamrita, the nectar of the holy name. The holy name evokes ecstasy. Offenseless chanting of the holy name brings ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya to Prakashananda Saraswati. This is continued from the yesterday. It is the aspiration of a devotee that while he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, his eyes will fill with tears and his voice falter and his heart throb. These are good signs in chanting the holy name of the Lord. In ecstasy, one should feel the entire world to be vacant without the presence of Govinda. This is a sign of separation from Govinda. In material life, we are all separated from Govinda and are absorbed in material sense gratification. Therefore, when one comes to his senses on the spiritual platform, he becomes so eager to meet Govinda that without Govinda, the entire world becomes vacant place. In this verse 83, it is explained that one who chants the Hare Krishna mantra develops bhava, ecstasy, which is the point at which revelations begin. It is the preliminary stage in the developing one's original love for God. A neophyte disciple begins by hearing and chanting, associating with the devotees, and practicing the regulative principles, and thus he vanquishes all of his unwanted bad habits. In this way, he develops attachment for Krishna and cannot forget Krishna even for a moment. Bhava is almost the successful stage of spiritual life. A sincere student actually orally receives the holy name from the spiritual master, and after being initiated, he follows the regulative principles given by the spiritual master. When the holy name is properly served in this way, automatically the spiritual nature of the holy name spreads. In other words, the devotee automatically the spiritual nature of the holy name spreads. In other words, the devotee becomes qualified in offenselessly chanting the holy name. When one is completely fit to chant the holy name in this way, he is eligible to make disciples all over the world and he actually becomes Jagat Guru. Then the entire world under his influence begins to chant the holy names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thus, all the disciples of such spiritual master increase in attachment for Krishna, and therefore he sometimes cries, sometimes laughs, sometimes dances, and sometimes chants. These symptoms are very prominently manifest in the body of a pure devotee. Sometimes when our students of Krishna, our students of the Krishna consciousness movement chant and dance, even in India, people are astonished to see how these foreigners have learned to chant and dance in this ecstatic fashion. As explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, actually this is not due to practice, For without extra endeavor, this symptoms becomes manifest in anyone who is sincerely chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. While chanting and dancing or hearing the holy name of the Lord, one automatically remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because there is no difference between the holy name and Krishna, the chanter is immediately linked with Krishna. Thus connected, a devotee develops his original attitude of service to Krishna. In this attitude of constantly serving Krishna, which is called bhava, one always thinks of Krishna in many different ways. One who attained this bhava, one who attains this bhava stage is no longer under clutches of the illusory energy. When other spiritual ingredients such as trembling, perseveration, tears, etc., are added to this bhava stage, and devotee gradually attains love for Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 7.5 to 83. The Prabhupada quote, 27 September. Guru and Krishna are two parallel lines on which spiritual express runs very smoothly. Letter to Devananda, September 27, 1967. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Without work, he was in a critical situation, but he remained confident and eager to take a new employment. There were other companies that would like to have him as their agent, and some of his old customers wanted him to service them, even if he were not boss's man. Abhay thought about starting his own pharmaceutical laboratory. Finally, he decided he would start his own factory, but in much bigger city than Allahabad. He settled in Mumbai. He decided that his family should remain in Allahabad and he and his brother would travel to Bombay, take an apartment and survey the prospects of starting a factory there. Although Radharani was used to her husband's traveling, it had never been an extended as this promised to be. Abhay talked with her, explaining that this recent business loss had been the arrangement of Krishna. Now, again to provide for his family, he would have to start large business, and that could best to be done in a major city like Bombay. But family life in Allahabad would be temporarily disrupted. He set up a very small pharmaceutical manufacturing operation in Allahabad, but his nephew Tulsi in charge and left for Bombay with his brother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Bhagavad Gita 13.3 Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarve kshetresru bharata kshetra kshetragyayor jnanam yattad jnanam matam mama. Translation. O scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.12.26 Anastitam te pitrabhir anyir api angakarichit Atishta jagatam vandyam tadvishnu paramam padam. Translation. Dear King Dhruv, neither your forefathers nor anyone else before you ever achieved such a transcendental planet. The planet known as Vishnu Loka, where Lord Vishnu personally resides, is the highest of all. It is worshipable by the inhabitants of all other planets within the universe. Please come with us and live there eternally. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 4.202 Kampashveda Pullakashru Stamba Valvarna Nirveda Vishada Jadya Garbha Harsha Dainya. Translation. trembling perspiration, jubilant tears, shock, fading of the bodily luster, disappointment, moroseness, loss of memory, pride, joy, and humility were all visible in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. श्री श्री राधारास बिहारी भगवान की जय। ललिता सखी विशाखा माता की जय। गिरिराज गोवर्धन महाराज की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। गौरांग निताय महाप्रभु की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। मॉर्निंग चैंटिंग प्रोग्राम की जय। संवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। Today's Nama Amrita is very long. And ultimately, it comes to one thing, that the love which is there in our heart, it is automatically manifested when we chant the holy name offenselessly. And this is what this conversation is about. The entire bhava, we know that ado shraddha, tada sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anartha nivritti, nishtha, ruchi, bhava, and prem. These are the different types of stages when people pass through when they properly do the seva and the bhajana. Offenseless chanting, first of all, will help him to elevate to all the stages of the bhava. And we have seen that this is not artificial. If it was artificial, all the foreigners who are joining and dancing on the street, they cannot sustain for a long time. It is not artificial. They stayed with Prabhupada for very little time. But after Prabhupada left, for 50 and more years, they are there in the movement and pushing the movement and chanting and dancing ecstasy. It is not artificial. It cannot be artificial. It is there in your heart. We are being part and parcel of the Lord. The bhava for the Lord is there. It has to be revived. And that is the prime goal of the human life. Some or other, billions and millions and billions and trillions and millions and trillions of years, we are caught in this web of, the Maya. And because of that, the covering is there on a consciousness. And that can be cleaned only and only by offenseless chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And when that bhava comes, the last look of Chaitanya Charitamrita, what we are discussing today, the Ashta Satvik Vikara, which Radharani is manifesting to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that happens when we sincerely chant the holy name. Our throat gets choked, tears start flowing, and we do not like anything other than Krishna. That are the stages that you will come in the due courses of time. As far as Srila Prabhupada quote is concerned, we have to always understand it's not only Krishna, but Guru is always there. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and Path Pradakshak Guru. There are three types of Guru. And we have to respect all of them. Those who are showing the way, those who are guiding us, and Diksha Guru. So it's not only alone Krishna in the spiritual life. With Krishna, there are devotees. Without the devotees and devotee circle, Krishna will never accept you. So now we know yesterday, by Krishna's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's adventure was finished. First adventure to become rich was totally blasted. So now, again, Srila Prabhupada is trying for second adventure to start his own factory and come to Bombay. Huh? But Lord had a bigger plan to make Radha Raspberry temple over here. So in future you will see how Krishna breaks this plan also, which making big factory and laboratory in Mumbai. Hmm. So we have our own plans. Krishna has his own plans. Hmm. So that is the special mercy we will see on Srila Prabhupada, that his trying is full, and he's telling his wife that it was Krishna's arrangement that I have put in the loss, but let me try this next time. Huh? I'll go to Bombay with my brother and try to establish a big business, because in my palmistry, my hand, I've it is written that I'll become a rich person. Okay. 13th chapter, very nice and very important shloka. Kshetragya chapim viddhim sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetragya ya jnanam yat jnanam matam imam. So, Kshetra means body, and Kshetragya means the soul and the super soul. So, body plus soul plus super soul. If we have knowledge of all these three things incomplete, then you are considered to be a knowledgeable. But in the material world, people only have knowledge about body. They do not have knowledge about how the soul works. They do not have the knowledge about how the super soul works and controls the body and the soul. They only have only bodily knowledge and sense gratification. And that's why they are not termed as intelligent as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, because people may have material knowledge, bodily knowledge, they may be very beautiful, but still, according to Bhagavad Gita, they are not termed as knowledgeable, because they do not have the knowledge about the soul and about the super soul, their relation, that how super soul controls the body and the soul. So, according to Bhagavad Gita, who is knowledgeable? Who is having the knowledge of the body function of the soul, functions of the Lord, then he is knowledgeable. Now, the Sunandan and the Nandan, they are speaking that we are taking you to Dhruloka. And this Loka, nobody in your generation, your father, your forefathers, anybody were able to achieve this feat. This is because of the Lord's causeless mercy and your determination in your devotion life. Come and live eternally over there, where Lord is eternally residing over there. And everybody worships the Dhru Loka. We say na Ashta Sattvic Vikara. What are Ashta Sattvic Vikara? So here the list of Ashta Sattvic Vikara is given. Kampa, trembling. Sweda, perspiration. Pulaka, Ashru, jubilant tears. Stambha, that is shock. Vaivaranya, fading of the bodily luster. Nirveda, disappointment. Moras, Vishada Moras. And Jadiya means loss of memory. Garvaha, pride. Then Harsha, joy. And Dainya, humilities. This all Ashtashatvik Vikar were visible in the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Radharani. So in the separation, this all were happening, and that's why Radharani is the topmost devotee in the spiritual world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare